Hey guys, this is Poet Spice, and I am here to do this month's edition of the embellishments on the 11th, which is hosted by Deb Hauk. And you can go check out all the ladies who are participating. Go check out her channel and put in a hashtag. Follow along and play along if you would like. It's so fun. You just get out your stuff and make embellishments, and then you can use them later. What? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with what I used. You know how you have your stuff and you're like, ooh, I need to organize my stuff a little bit. So I did that with this part of my craft desk, because I have a thing for words, and then I have like a little basket up here of like stuff I want to play with, and so I just leave it out on my desk. Well, I was going through to straighten it up because it was a hot mess, and I'm like, let me go through here and look at some stuff. So the first thing I pulled out was this. I have had this forever. I even put it up in a D stash and then I took it back out. So this is a die set from this company called not New, First Edition. New Edition is an R&B group. And so it has these dies, right? And it's actually 2 layered up. So it's 1, 2, and then 3, and then these 3 layered. Now, obviously you don't have to, but that's the intent. And so I don't know why it just dawned on me, because I don't really use this that often. I might use like one piece. And so I was like, I'm just going to cut all of them and see what they do, what they look like. So I did that. I cut them out of some paper that was just in my scrap bin forever and a day. And so I cut this one. And so you can see the full scallop circle in the back, then this piece, and then your little flag there with tails. And I don't know if you could see clear, but I used it's a shiny, and then it's got like embossing and whatever. So not exactly, the back is fine, not exactly the part you would use to write on, right? But you could just take this piece and like stamp a sentiment. Stamp your sentiment or whatever, and then use it. But I was just like, I just want to see what it looks like out of this paper. And so then here is the other one, and you could do the same thing, stamp a message here. You could use it this way, stamp it that way. You could just not use the layers and just have this piece. But so I just wanted to see what they would look like. So I'm like, well, they're embellishments, so I'm gonna put them in this video because I love them. I love how they came out. Another example, another tip, I give this as many times as I can think about it, because not everybody watches every video, right? Don't be afraid to use your papers for things other than what they seem to be meant for. I don't know if you can tell, because it is like a whitish cream on a light teal. But this is dragonfly paper, okay? And I'll show you the whole piece, well, what's left of it. So, can you see how this is dragonflies? So don't be like, oh, I can't use this on something, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can. So don't be afraid to just use your paper on something else. Like, you can't even tell really that that's what that was, but look how pretty it is anyway. So yeah, just another tip. All right, then I was digging through something else because I needed to make some room underneath my craft desk. I'm gonna have to put it back, but like my leg has been hurting really bad, so I need to make room so I could stretch it out. And so I was like, I want to make some flowers, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going through that bin, and I come across, of course, it's like at the end of your bin, right? I come across this. Now, I have done this before, but it's been several months since I've used this. So this is Crafter's Companions. What did they call this? It says elements, but they called it something else. Anyway, it's decoupage. So you have your die set. You have a decoupage paper pad, right? That's all numbered. And I think there's how many pages? 48 pages. Not anymore, because I've used it several times. And so you have all your pieces, and they're numbered, and they tell you so you can lay your pieces out the way they go. Then you also have a stamp set that is the exact same thing. So you could have sentiments, as well as you have this whole piece, and then you have the layering pieces. And then those dies will also cut that out, right? So they had a whole series of it, and I got the whole series when it came out. And this was sitting back there in that pack. And I'm like, okay, I guess that satisfies flowers, because I was not planning on doing Christmas. So I pulled that out. as well as some, I just dropped that all over the floor, some foam dots, you know, some foam dots. And I wanted you to see, I've done this before, but I wanted you to see that you do not have to do exactly what they say the product is supposed to do or to look like. You can use it any way you want. I'm trying to pick it up off the floor, y'all. Hold on. Hold on, sisters and brothers. Hold on. Hold on to your love. Hold on. Don't let go. All right, there we go. It's like, okay, so here is what the piece is, quote unquote, supposed to look like when you make it. So it's got all these layers so that you can cut it, lay it up, lay it up, lay it up, and then you have your foam squares in between. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers to this piece. And so I went ahead and put foam dots on each one. So you can see how dimensional it would be. And of course, you could use even thicker foam dots. You could double the foam dots up, yada, yada, yada. Right? Here's another tip. Always put glue on your foam dots, because that glue doesn't always stick. So there's this one. So then I did another one, and here it is. But notice this time I only used 3 layers and foam dots on those 2. Okay, so you can see the difference in profile. Okay. It also makes a dramatic difference between the layers, because since I didn't use this, there's what, 2 more here that I didn't use. You can see how it kind of makes this top layer stand out even more. So there's that. So then I did the other one, and I used foam dots, but I only used 2 layers this time. Okay, so can you see the difference? So there's only 2. Now, I only used 3 pages of the sheets. Okay, so I only used 3 sheets. And so you would think, oh, well, we've got 3 of them here. But no, because I didn't use all the layers, now I can go back and make additional ones. So we have this one, where I took some of the layers from the other pieces, and then I just layered them up differently. So rather than having that big piece in the back, now I have this piece, and I have this bow piece, and then I have that piece. So there's 3 layers in this, but see how it's not the same as what it's quote unquote supposed to look like. And then what that allows you to do is that you could add it here. Maybe you have something else that's a little smaller, or maybe you have something, see like this green here, maybe you have something that's not that green, and so this green doesn't look right. So instead, what can we do? We can go and use, of course I don't have a green just sitting around, right? Because why would I when I need it? Okay, let's do this instead. I got this blue. So maybe instead I want blue. Now, I wouldn't put that together, I'm just saying. But say I wanted blue instead of this green. If I put this on there, that looks terrible. That looks terrible, right? But if I need blue, or I wanted to put blue on here, now I don't have to worry about the green because there's no green on it. Does that make sense? And then, since I had other pieces, then I made this piece, which is once again smaller. So instead of having these extra pieces there, it's the next layer, and then I just put the bow on top. And then you could manipulate them as much as you want. And of course, you don't have to use foam dots at all. You could just simply glue them together. Or you could simply just have 1 layer and whatever. So anyway, those are my 2 sets of embellishments this month. So like I said, go check out the other ladies, and don't forget to play along. Play along will be fun. Bye.